An Iraqi court has sentenced a French woman to life in prison for joining the Islamic State terror group, escaping the death penalty, though it must be said. Melina Boeder was captured last year in Mosul and sentenced to 7 months in prison for entering the country illegally. After the end of that sentence, then she's due to be deported home to France. But prosecutors demanded a retrial. They said she violated the country's anti-terrorism law by following her husband to Iraq. They furthermore say he went there to join the terror group. But that case aside, Melina Boeder's home country, France, it brings up the whole problem of radicalisation in prisons, and it's got authorities really alarmed what they're going to do when they get back out again. 500 terrorists now imprisoned in France. Around 1,200 prisoners are reportedly radicalised. 40 of them, crucially, are due for release in the next 2 years, and that's got the alarm bells ringing. The country's leading counter-terrorism prosecutor warns that the move poses a major threat to the public.
There's a major risk of seeing people who are not at all repentant at the end of their sentence leave prison and yet be even more radical after their time behind bars.
With many questioning the initiative, Charlotte Dubinsky visits Europe's biggest jail.
Not only is there concern over the threats these individuals may pose to the outside world, but also while they're incarcerated. This is Fleury-Mérogis. It's Europe's largest prison, and amongst the thousands of inmates being held here, some are known jihadists.
Every day in France, prison guards are attacked. We have been offered an extra 1,100 supervisors over the next 4 years, but for now we don't see anything happening. We are tired of this. You are the first TV channel I'm telling this to, but yesterday we had a suicide, and since January we've had 10 other cases.
Exhaustion among staff and concerns for their own welfare have spilled over into protests. Still, their calls for help are going unanswered, and now prisons like this could soon be unlocking their doors to let those radicalised inmates back into society.
This prison is the largest in Europe. There are 4,300 inmates. It's overcrowded and we don't have enough staff. We have more than 120 radicalised inmates here. So you can imagine how difficult it is for a prison supervisor to handle all this.
The 40 alleged radicalised inmates who will soon get out of jail will likely find themselves on a counter-terrorism watch list, a list that already runs into the tens of thousands, 4,000 of whom are considered dangerous. Tragically, even those on the watch list often slip through the fingers of security services. French authorities say they have to do more to properly monitor former inmates. And with France having suffered so much through terror attacks in recent years, many would argue it's about time they did. Charlotte Dubinsky, RT, Paris.